Here we are, we're back again for this week's The Ask ML Fit Show. Hey, I'm Matt from Matt Lane Fitness. If you are new here, it means so friggin' much to me that you would give me any of your precious time. I won't take it for granted. This is exactly what it looks like. You ask your fitness questions, and I'll answer them, as you see on the sides here. I'm going to dive into some questions, but I hope that in the future that your drop... you can do this. You can speak. Drop your questions down below. I would love to answer them. Seriously, it would mean the world to me. The more specific you are, the better. I'm going to dive into today's questions. First one, quinoa. This comes from a subreddit called Eat Cheap and Healthy. I just joined this sub, and I've seen many people talking and asking about cheap protein sources. Quinoa is rarely mentioned. Why is that? And if you don't know, quinoa, and he says it right here, she says it right here, it is an excellent source of protein and fiber. And I agree, it is a good source of protein. It has a very mild flavoring, can be mixed with dishes, and does nothing to alter the flavor, in my opinion, they say. Am I missing something? It's pretty cheap too. I feel like I'm missing something because I have always seen quinoa to be a little pricier than most other, I consider it a carbohydrate source, but it's always been pretty pricey from what I've seen. So Eat Cheap and Healthy, while you're not seeing it there, is a little pricey. The reason I read this question is because I feel like not a lot of people eat quinoa in comparison to rice, and they know some of the other carbohydrate sources, but quinoa really is a fantastic protein source. That's why I brought this question up. On to the next one. What's the hardest part about working out? This is from a subreddit called Beginner Fitness. Hi everyone, I'm working on a project and am curious on everyone's thoughts about the hardest thing for beginners when it comes to working out, lifting in general. Here's the deal. I'll give my 2 cents here, but I would really love to see it in the comments. What have you found has been the hardest part for you for working out? You watching this, please drop it down below. I'd like to know your experience. So yes, I want your question as well, but I'd really like to know your experience. What's been the hardest part for you? I can tell you for me personally, when I started out, it was just understanding the basics. That was the biggest thing for me, understanding the basics. And then also for me, I think trying to do too much at once. And then lastly was confidence. Those were the 3 things for me, and honestly, across the board, that is what I see for a lot of beginners. I think there are many, many, many other things that could be said. What are the toughest things about working out for beginners? This person speaks to lifting in general, and I'll say that understanding the basics, just understanding progressive overload and knowing that certain ways that you train will reach certain goals, and then also your genetic potential. So I guess sort of your expectations and then knowing the basics, seriously. And getting good information was tougher, I think, back in the day. Now it's easier for sure. So yeah, that's my opinion. Moving on. I'm 14 and I want to stop feeling bad about myself. Okay. And stop eating junk. Any ideas? Well, this is very subjective. I'm a 14-year-old female. I just turned 14 last week. All right, well, happy belated. I weigh around 60 kilos. Could be more. And at 5'5" in height, I walk regularly. Oh boy, that's spelling. And try to get 10,000 steps, but barely get that much steps. All right. All I really eat is junk. Takeout, chocolate, and chips is basically all I eat every day. I want to cut it out, but having a big drawer full beside you isn't necessarily helping. So does anyone know foods that help you lose weight? Okay, understood. Okay, there is no magic food that'll make you lose weight. Mainly in the face and stomach. You can't spot reduce fat, meaning you have to lose fat throughout the whole body. You can't just target the face. It's not possible. You can't just target the stomach. I don't have any goal. I just want to stop when I feel better about myself, if that makes sense. It doesn't, but I can give you some general advice here. So a calorie deficit is what causes fat loss. If you use the app MyFitnessPal or Lose It, you can track those calories. Here's your maintenance calories. If you eat under that, you are going to lose fat. Okay? That's the big thing with calories. That's how you lose fat. That's the only way you can lose fat. Now, when it comes to eating healthier, when it comes to eating, I guess, better, you're 14 years old, your metabolism is pretty dadgum high, and you're 5'5", 120-ish, 122-ish, right? 60 kilos. So honestly, I don't say this often, but if you have it in a drawer next to you, you have it way too accessible. I'm not the type of person that says, just get rid of it all. I don't think you should just get rid of it all. I think when you do that, you put a higher value on it. But if you have a drawer of it, you need to start doing some eliminating. Maybe pick and choose some of the things you want to keep, but you don't need a drawer of this quote unquote bad food, crap food. And you just need to start eating a more well-balanced diet. And you know, you're 14 years old. Honestly, no offense to you, but when I was 14 years old, I didn't know what the hell I was supposed to eat. So, I mean, doing a basic Google search of quote-unquote healthy foods, that's going to give you a roundabout of what the things you should look for. Now, here's the deal. There's no such thing as a good and bad food, all right? Some food is better for you. Some food is not as good for you. That's about it, okay? Some benefit you more than others. Look for a protein source. Look for a carbohydrate source, a vegetable, and a fat. Okay, and if you want to break that down, you don't even have to do the fat. Okay, do the vegetable, because the protein source most likely will have fat in it. Keep it super simple. The more difficult you make this, the more difficult progress comes, or the routine comes. You're 14 years old. Don't take it so crazy seriously. Okay, you have your whole life ahead of you, and I highly encourage you to adopt a healthy relationship with food. Don't let it become your arch nemesis, because I promise you, the older you get, the more you're going to deal with it as your metabolism slows and all that. And I think getting active, that alone might be doing you a lot of good. I know you said you're taking 10,000 steps, but you can barely get that much. I would highly encourage you to find an activity that you enjoy. Find an activity you enjoy. That's going to do you so much good. If you are looking for fitness plans based in behavior change and science, it's exactly what I do. If you are feeling squirrely, check it out in the description below, because I know I can help you. It's exactly what I've been doing for a long, long time with the clients I work with. To the Mental Fit Mafia, to the patrons, thank you so friggin' much for always being here. You don't have to be perfect at this fitness thing. Just be better than yesterday, every day.